welcome to my channel. My name is Mauharet. You can call me Mo. This is my channel, Mauh Moon, and in this YouTube video I'm going to be asking Lucifer, channeling the spirit of Lucifer, and I have 6 questions which I will answer through the spirit of Baphomet, who is also known as Lucifer in my opinion. And so I have the Baphomet statue here with me, and I have a crystal ball which I will be hopefully using. This is a very much an intuitive video. I did set up for it, but I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, as usually is the case with these type of videos where I ask Lucifer questions and have him answer through me. I would just like to clarify that I am not what some might think of as a Satanist, in the fact that I don't call myself a Satanist in any religious way. I also want to say that although I do respect Anton Sanz-Olivet, and I do find that there is a lot of intelligence and individuality and insight in his 2 books, the Satanic Bible and the second one that I have that is the Devil's Notebook. There are others. I did read from them in the last 2 Lucifer channeling videos, but as I've been looking through them, I've been kind of actually I've seen them myself as sort of a way to look at things through a different lens, but I don't necessarily always agree with what is written in the Satanic Bible or the other one that I have, the Devil's Notebook. So they are both written by Anton Sanz-Olivet, but I am not a Satanist. If you must know, I don't ascribe to any one religion. I am not a religious person. I like to think that I'm on a journey to enlightenment and to higher consciousness. So although I am going to be speaking with Lucifer, to me, Lucifer is an angel of light. He is a spiritual being who is there for our benefit and not to cause problems to the Christians or to be bringing people to hell with him. I don't believe that at all. I do believe that Lucifer does have access to heaven and hell because he is an angel and he's a spiritual being. But I don't necessarily even believe in that concept of heaven and hell, being that I don't think that we have to go to either a heaven or a hell when we die. So having said that, I have 2 decks of tarot cards with me. I don't know if I'll use both, but I have the Deviant Moon Tarot. And the second deck that I have is the deck that I've been using for the Horned Grandfather King readings, which I do every Saturday. Today is a Saturday. So instead of just asking one question, I've been given the opportunity to ask the 6 questions that I came up with while I was reading the Satanic Bible a little bit and the Devil's Notebook. Some questions that I came up with. They're not very complicated questions, let me assure you, but then again, I do feel like they're good questions. So the second deck, like I just showed you, is the Tarot of the Little Prince, and that's the deck that I've been using for my Lucifer channeling videos. So I don't really know why I have the Deviant Moon Tarot with me today, except for the fact that I just felt an intuition to bring it up into this video. So I have an apple on my altar as well, and the apple is signifies wisdom, so I'll just place it there. And I do believe that Lucifer is the bringer of light. He is the light bringer, and he offers wisdom to those who are willing to question. It isn't so much that he's offering his own ability to question, it's just the enlightenment that he brings to those who want to know truths about spirituality and life and the things beyond this life. So I just want to welcome the spirit of Lucifer, and thank you for being here. I do feel like I always have the spirit of Lucifer with me because I've been asking a lot of questions throughout my life, and I feel like I've always had a connection to him. Although during my Christian days, you know, I was taught to fear the devil and that he is, I was taught a lot of things about how he was bad, but I don't believe those things. So let me just start out by, you know, blessing this time. And just, I'm going to just see if there's any messages that come from the crystal ball. So let's just kind of get into this. And as we go, I will ask the questions and I will see what the answers are through picking a card from the tarot decks that I have, either one or both. So I see strings. I see a string. I see many strings. I see a web. I'm thinking about a web where things get caught. I'm thinking about a web where Christians ask questions, and that the Christian religion is like a web where the questions get caught and they don't get to go into the atmosphere in order to reverberate and come back with an answer to the questions. So I see something closed off. I see like a gate closed off to questioning, to somebody entering into that realm. It's almost like I see the Garden of Eden and I see that it's closed off and that it's an illusion that you cannot get to the tree of life. I see that the tree of life is like the sun. Okay, it seems a little discombobulated, but it is what it is. So I have the questions, and as I ask the questions, I will also, when I'll be posting the questions on the screen so that you can think about the question as I'm drawing a card, and we will ask Lucifer, making sure I got all the cards, ask Lucifer the questions that I have been able to think up. So I'm just going to shuffle these a little. I just want to, it seems silly to me, and it seems a little bit weird for me to say I want to welcome Lucifer here today to this Q&A, but you know, if you respect the divine will respect you. And I feel like even though it may feel like a little silly for me to talk to something that doesn't physically, you know, isn't physically able to be seen, it doesn't mean that it isn't there. You know, just because I can't see Lucifer sitting with me, it doesn't mean that he isn't here and that he isn't paying attention and that he doesn't want to answer the questions. I feel like sometimes I can possibly answer questions in my own mind, and not that maybe I'm not tapping into the spirit of Lucifer, but I feel like the spirit of Lucifer is here, and that it's just a matter of believing in yourself and knowing that you can ask the questions and that the questions are answerable and that the answers can be yours. It's just that you have to think about them in your mind and allow yourself to believe what it is that is coming through your mind in regards to the answers of those questions. So the first question I have, I will pick the card off the top of the deck. It's the Tarot of the Little Prince. The first question that I have, I found it while I was reading The Devil's Notebook by Anton Sanzer-Levay. The first question is a little bit strange, but Lucifer, if you could express to me the answer to this question: how is music a language? So the question I have for Lucifer is, how is music a language, Lucifer? And I always want to just, you know, direct the question to Lucifer after I've asked it. So how is music a language, Lucifer? And so let's see what the card is. So we have the Knight of Cups. So if I may ask again, how is music a language, Lucifer? This is the answer. I am Lucifer. I know much about music. I love music. Music can be many things. Music can be the sound of crickets. Music can be the sound of birds chirping. Music can be just that, music. And lyrics are not so much music as much as the music itself. Because music doesn't have a set language. Music is what you make of it. So although people add words to the sounds, the rhythms, and the beats, it isn't so much what they're saying within the sound and the beats and the rhythm, but it is more so how you are responding through your different senses to what you are hearing and the emotions that you are feeling. The Knight of Cups is an emotional card, Lucifer says. The Knight of Cups is an emotional card. It is a card of accepting what has been given to you and what is being given to you. So how, you ask me, is music a language? I, Lucifer, I am the master of music. Music is a language in that it allows you to delve further into yourself and find questions that will allow you to grow. So how is music a language? It is a language that gives you an opportunity to feel what you need to feel. The emotions that will come rushing over you like the waves will allow you to speak to yourself in words that will allow you to grow into a deeper and more meaningful version of yourself. Okay, thank you, Lucifer. Okay, guys, so I'm going to ask the second question. Like I said, this is kind of on the fly, but I do thank Lucifer for being here. So the second question I took as I was reading a little bit from the Satanic Bible by Anton Sanso Lefebvre. The second question I have for you, Lucifer, is, what is the ego, Lucifer? And I know it sounds like a big question, but I feel like you probably know how to answer this, even though I would have no idea. So the question again is, what is the ego, Lucifer? The card we have is 2, the High Priestess. What is the ego, Lucifer? You seem choked up, Mauh. You seem anxious. You're holding the High Priestess card and you're asking me to tell you what the ego is. Egotistical. I'm sure you've heard that word before. Allowing yourself to be ruled by the ideas that are coming from your pride. Ego is the side of you that wants to be proud of everything. Proud of everything that you've become, giving yourself credit for everything that you feel like you know. The ego is that part of you that will allow you to grow, yes. But I, Lucifer, fell because of my ego. I fell. And it doesn't mean that the ego is not a good thing. It just means that when you soar with your ego, like this person on the plane in the High Priestess card soaring with the plane, when you soar with your ego, rest assured that that will come down again. And then when you do come down from your high of being on your ego ride, realize that it doesn't mean that you are a loser, a loner, whatever you can think of that will make you feel negative. The ego is just a part of yourself. The ego is the part of yourself that is egotistical, that allows you to feel a sense of grandeur, that allows you to feel a sense of importance. And the real question is not what is the ego. The real question is, how can you merge the ego with the rest of who you are in order to be a complete version of yourself? So you ask me, Mauh, what is the ego? And I say to you, most people know what the ego is. It's that part of you that tells you how good you are, that wants to be the best. The ego is that part of you that never wants to be told the subconscious truth of the fact that we are all lost and we are all looking for answers. That is what the ego is. It is what helps us to realize that we are not lost the way we think we are lost, but that indeed we are searching. And the ego allows us to have that mental boost to allow us to search. And the ego is a good thing, and the ego is a bad thing. It depends how you view it or how you are using it. The ego, if I could simplify it, is what is inside you that is egotistical. It's a good answer, I think. I think that's a good answer. Thank you, Lucifer. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, guys. I'm thinking about the web that I saw in the crystal ball, where questions were getting caught in the web of the blanket of Christianity, Lucifer. And I'm thinking about how the questions need to, as I saw in the crystal ball, reverberate into the atmosphere in order to allow us to expand our minds, I suppose. So the third question that I have, Lucifer, kind of going on to another topic, is a question that I thought of when I was looking through The Devil's Notebook by Anton Saint-Exupéry. The question is this: what is love, Lucifer? It's either I pull the Five of Cups for that question. What is love, Lucifer? And it's the Five of Cups. You see this card, the Five of Cups. It's about sorrow. You see the Five of Cups. You see the boy. He's sad. He has his head in his hand on a beautiful day where the leaves are blowing through the sky. And though the clouds are dark, he's being moved by the atmosphere around him. He has created this sadness in himself. And so you ask me, what is love, Lucifer? And I ask you the question right back, Mauh. What is love to you? Because love to you is not the same as love to somebody else, you see. You live in this world where everything seems to be perfect, and yet love is a lie. Love is a lie, Mauh. Remember it, don't you? You remember when you said that, Mauh. You remember when you said love is a lie. And see, love is what you think it is at the time that you're experiencing it. Many people will have to go through heartbreak, and they will believe, just as you did, that love is a lie and that it never existed, and that if it did, it was false. It's a very sensitive question you're asking me, Mauh. And I know that a lot of people who might be watching this YouTube video that you're making right now, Mauh, they may not like to think about love for themselves, because perhaps, like this boy in this picture who has his head in his hand and just wants to be left alone, the fall leaves are falling on top of him, and the sky is bringing in dark clouds of sadness and rain. Love is in the atmosphere, Mauh. Love is in the atmosphere, and it's up to you to decipher what love is. I cannot express to you what love is, Mauh. You know what love is. You know what you thought love was when you told me love is a lie. Is love still a lie, Mauh? Answer me. Is love a lie, Mauh? I still think love is a lie. Lucifer. I still think love is a lie. Thank you for answering the question, but I guess I'll leave it at that then. Thank you, Lucifer. Okay, guys, I'm gonna bring out my crystal ball again. I feel a sense of pushing back the curtain, bringing it together. I'm thinking about a play. Thinking about how I've heard it said that all the world is a stage and everyone has their part. I'm seeing actors on a stage, I'm seeing lines, a prompter. I'm seeing youth. I'm seeing the past. And the question is, what is your past? What is your past? So for those of you watching this YouTube video, what do you consider your past to be? And I feel like Lucifer has given me the leading to ask you that question. It's hard to come up with questions, am I right? It's hard to come up with questions because we don't know where we're going to find the answers. And I feel like I'm really grateful to have Lucifer, because these questions that I've asked him so far, thank you, Lucifer, it's something that I would never be able to answer on my own. So it's nice to have that deity to give me an idea of what the answers to these questions are. And so I guess I'm kind of thinking about another question for Lucifer, which would be, what is our past? What is our past? And then I guess I can answer that by myself without even asking Lucifer, is that each of our pasts is very different. Your past is different from my past, and what brought you to this point here in life is different from what brought me to this point here in life. And so I don't want to ignore my guess, Lucifer. So let me ask the next question. So the third question I already asked. So we're at the fourth question. And the fourth question that I have for you, Lucifer, today is, Lucifer, what is hope? I feel like these are really hard questions, but I know I can answer them. So Lucifer, what is hope? Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles for the question, what is hope, that I asked Lucifer. Four of Pentacles. And I see a man counting pennies and putting them down, and a sheep. So Lucifer, what is hope in quotation marks? And I wrote it like that because I feel like hope is just an imaginary thing, but I don't want to put it that way if it isn't in your books. So I will just ask you straight out, Lucifer, what is hope? And the answer is in the Four of Pentacles. Lucifer, what is hope? Hopelessness. This card shows you hopelessness, doesn't it? The idea that you are just a sheep following, the idea that all we are here for is for pie in the sky ideas. When I say pie in the sky ideas, I mean exactly what you're thinking, Mauh. I'm thinking about how we are laying up treasures in heaven, aren't we, Mauh? We are like sheep believing that we are laying up treasures in heaven, when the reality is that there is a very earthly plane here. Hope is knowing that this moment here and now does count. And that's all there is to it. It's just knowing that it isn't about a pie in the sky dream. It isn't about laying up treasures in heaven, as you've heard so many times in your lifetime, Mauh. Yes, the future is important, but it isn't about finding hope in the future, is it, Mauh? It's about how, when you do feel hopelessness, you need to find the hope that is in the now. And so stop counting your pennies in heaven. Stop counting pennies anywhere. It's not about the material things. As much as this is the Four of Pentacles, it's about balancing out your mind, soul, body, and emotions. You see the Four Pentacles in the sky. Mind, body, soul, and emotions. It's about journaling. Hope is about journaling. Hope is about writing out how you feel and responding to how you are writing. Hope is about feeling your emotions. You know that, Mauh. You know how you used to feel hopelessness because you would feel nothingness. Nothingness is hopelessness. And so something, anything, can be hope if you're the right person. Thank you, Lucifer. I do remember feeling that. I do remember feeling no kinds of emotions and feeling like that was the worst feeling ever. So you're right. Thank you. Okay, guys. The next question for Lucifer. that I thought about when I was reading a little bit of the Satanic Bible by Anton Sanzo LaVey is it's the fifth question. So it's the second to last question, Lucifer. And the fifth question that I wrote down here is, what do you hate about man-made religion, Lucifer? Mo, take out your crystal ball. I want you to tell me what you think about man-made religion. Okay. What are you thinking about? I'm thinking about the fact that you know what I'm thinking about. Okay, so it's this idea that we are told that we are being watched after in this grand scheme of this play that I was imagining through the crystal ball in my last crystal reading. How there's this play and how we are told that we are being nurtured outside of space and time. And I see stars shining in the black sky. I see stars. And it reminds me of how we all come from a specific origin and how we are each here living our play. And we are the creators of the script. We are the creators of the script. And we are like magicians. We are like magicians, and it's almost like a Roman column. I'm seeing Roman architecture. I'm thinking about the richness of life. You asked me about man-made religion. I guess what I can see from this is that I'm thinking about the days of Caesar. I'm thinking about how the Christians were fed to the lions in the Colosseum. I'm thinking about how a lot of people are extreme religion people and they cause a lot of pain. I'm thinking about ISIS. I'm thinking about, just the extremes of every religion and how every extreme of a religion has caused a lot of pain. I'm seeing a lot of pain. I don't want to look anymore. So the question was, what do I hate about man-made religion? Wasn't it, Mo? Yeah, it was. Okay, so what do you think about man-made religion, Mo? I think the word religion is a very touchy word. I feel like the word religion brings a lot of negative connotation. But I really want to know what you think about man-made religion, Lucifer. Mo, what was the card you drew for me? Oh, okay, sorry. So what, the question was, Lucifer, what do you think about man-made religion? And the answer came in the card, the Queen of Swords. So thank you. Queen of Swords. So what does Lucifer think about man-made religion? So I'm seeing, I'm feeling this. Yeah, okay. So Lucifer, what do you think about man-made religion? I think about the patriarchy. I think about how it has destroyed so many women's lives and so many children's lives, that through the fact that the women have been destroyed. I'm thinking about how most man-made religions are ruled by the ideals of men and how they are used to control people. And so I guess just like any other person on this earth who has half a brain, in my opinion, man-made religion is garbage. Okay? Okay, so we're going to take out the crystal ball again. Thank you, Lucifer. I'm thinking, I'm looking, I'm seeing a witch. Okay. Okay, so the last question we have, Lucifer, is from the Satanic Bible that I was reading by Anton Stanzer LaVey. How can we overcome and avoid the trap of religion and religiosity, Lucifer? So the card I got for that question that I asked Lucifer, it's the Eight of Swords. So it's actually quite a long-winded question. Um, I will ask it again, but this is the card I got, the Eight of Swords, which is a suit of the mind, and there's eight, and you see there's a snake down there, which reminds me of you, Lucifer. And I see a boy on top, which actually can remind myself of me. And for some reason, I really feel even like the fox could be a representation of Lucifer, and it's almost like the mind is below both Lucifer and myself, and yet he is also pictured in the swords as the snake of wisdom that we associate with the Garden of Eden when um, Lucifer came to Eve and he told her that she would be like God if she would just take from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and how her eyes were opened and she realized so much about herself and about her situation, and how she came to that path of enlightenment through Lucifer, none other than Lucifer. So the question I have, again, I'm going to re-say it, which was answered by the Eight of Swords, and we'll just get into a little bit more depth with Lucifer. But the question for you, Lucifer, that I forgot exactly how to say it, but it is, how can we overcome and also avoid the trap of religion, also religiosity, because religiosity is that mentality of religion. So religion as an establishment, and then religiosity as the ideas that penetrate our minds and that cause us to be stuck in that web that we were talking about when I was reading from the crystal ball the first time. And how can we, as actors in this play that we are living, how can we act in sincerity, I guess I should add, because without religion and religiosity, I feel like we are the sincerest form of ourselves. So how can we overcome and avoid the trap of religion and religiosity, Lucifer? It's the Eight of Swords. Mo, you're so intelligent, and I know you don't want me to hear you tell you that. But it is a way of overcoming religion and religiosity, and it is a way of breaking free from those ideas that have been fed to you and to many like you over the years since you were born. You see the boy at the top of this picture. He's got his eyes covered by his hand. It isn't about seeing. It isn't about seeing how religion has caused so much pain and hurt in the world, because that is all obvious to most people, that religion has only caused problems. And as you said, the extremists of every religion bring people down with them. So how can you overcome and avoid religion? Let's just talk about religion for a second. Obviously, you told your viewers at the beginning of this video that you are not a Satanist, and you have that label Satanist as if it's a bad thing, right? But you must know that there are good people in every religion, and it's not about judging the people within the religion as much as it is letting that idea of religiosity go. Because if you start to judge people based on their religion, you are becoming a form of religiosity in yourself, Mo. So you and your viewers must know that it's not about hating Satanism or Christianity or Mormonism or, whatever religion that you can think of, Muslim religion that you call it, Mo. It isn't about hating the people. It's about embracing the goodness within the religion and letting go of the religiosity as you embrace the people in the religion. It's about accepting. It's about uniting yourself with the idea of humanity. So you want to overcome and avoid religion and religiosity, and that's fine, that can be done. But just remember that just because you don't want to be a certain religion, Mo, it doesn't mean that the people in that religion are bad. And I think that's something that you already know, Mo. You already know that people are not inherently bad, even though religiosity teaches you in certain religions that people are wicked and that their hearts are wrong. Sure, there are some people who have horrible hearts, Mo, but it's about your outlook on life. Because if you can be able to look at the world in a positive light through your wisdom, Mo, always through that lens of wisdom, you can realize that everyone has their good and bad days. And if people are inherently bad, Mo, you know it. You know it because you have your intuition. And so I would really say to your viewers here, Mo, that the way to overcome religion and religiosity is to ask those questions, break down those webs, allow the questions to flow, and allow yourself to get the answers that you need to be the best version of yourself, Mo. So that's the answer. Okay, so that was the answer. Thank you, Lucifer. That's it for the questions that I have. I guess I won't be reading from any of Anton Sansoleve's books today. I sort of want to draw a Deviant Moon tarot card to thank Lucifer for being here. And I just want to allow my intuition to flow in order to thank Lucifer through a tarot card picture that I am going to see. So let me just shuffle my deck here, Lucifer, and I want to use my intuition to just give back to you, because I feel like you've really answered a lot of the questions really, really well, and you've really given me a lot of insight, and hopefully you guys as well have received a little bit of insight from Lucifer's answers that I've channeled. Thank you for being here, Lucifer. Thank you for everything that you are. Thank you for being an angel of light and, you know, the path to enlightenment and wisdom and higher consciousness, higher, you know, being, state of being. So I want to thank you through a tarot card, because I feel like my gift is reading tarot, Lucifer. So I see that I have the Two of Wands. I see the moon, and I see a darkly cloaked, hooded form. I see garlic, which reminds me of Hecate, because that's one of the offerings that you can bring to Hecate, who is the queen of the underworld. And I was thinking about Hecate before I started this video, Lucifer, and I was thinking about how I almost wanted to put her statue on this setup that I've done for you. But I just want to thank you specifically, Lucifer, because I feel like you help us to glean those answers that we need to the questions that we have. You encourage us, Lucifer, as you've encouraged me today, to really channel that power of curiosity. And, you know, just like you told me that I should start every Saturday, you know, inviting the horned grandfather king, who is you, Lucifer, the horned grandfather king, to, you know, give me messages. And I'm so grateful, Lucifer. I'm so grateful. And I really see that in this Two of Wands, that it is the goddess and the god energy, the moon and Lucifer. The moon is the grayish and Lucifer is the black, and it's about that masculine feminine energy, you know, gleaning from the ground. See those garlic that symbolizes Hecate? It's about gleaning through the darkness. Even when it's dark, we can find the truth, because truth is not only found in the light, but truth is also found in the dark. And that is something that I learned from you today, Lucifer. And I just want to thank you for being here and for being with my viewers here on YouTube. And so I will dismiss Lucifer if he would like to be dismissed, but he's always with me in my heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this Lucifer channeling video. If you did, please feel free to give my video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel if you feel like you like my style. I don't always do these type of videos. I do energy reading, tarot and oracle pick cards. I do meditation, and I also started just recently a Vampire Diary Chronicle series. I upload a video at least once a week, if not more. And I really appreciate you watching this video, and leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. And until next time in the next video, I love you guys and thank you for being here. Thank you, Lucifer. Bye, guys.